high ground above point, and he doesn't move from there until he gets pressured.
No. Tvik just sits up the top. He's like, all right, I'm here in the top, middle, back part of Hanamura. Please send your people to come get me, because even if you put 2 divers in on me here on Hanamura, I have faith that the rest of my team is going to punish you for allocating so many resources just to shut down my soldier.
All right, so load on to Hanamura. I really, I miss the days, ZP, of where we saw, Hanzos, where we saw Maze on first point, where we saw maybe Widowmakers being played to potentially open things up. I miss those days, and I hope to see them coming back very soon, especially if you're a team that defends first and realizes, well, we need to capture the first point. We need to get that first tick. Maybe we can go for the Widow like we did see earlier on, how amazing that became.
Well, the strange thing is about 2 months ago, you were seeing a lot more Widowmaker on first point Hanamura. I think you go back to a series that was done in this very studio in the Carbon series, is that we saw Widow a lot here on Hanamura, for example.
Well, and Zebo can play it too.
Yeah, well, Zebo's been in the heart of a lot of great Widow plays, and for whatever reason, teams have sort of gone, we'll run the Widow on Anubis, but maybe not so much on Hanamura.
So this is going to be interesting here. It looks like Graysby actually playing the Sombra. So, for the aggressive health pack hacks. I don't know. So aggressive health pack hacks, I don't feel like you maybe need to do it here. Maybe go for the defensive ones. Take away the minis and the megas inside your own point. Don't tell me they're going to go for an immediate fight here, though. What's the upside of going for an immediate fight here? If you don't win this, you just lost the first point.
Because Misfits probably isn't expecting that either, and the idea is just to go gamble here, win big or go home, and that might be LK's model as they are going in, and Zebosai, death from above comes from them again. I feel like we've seen this movie before, Jason.
Yeah, too many times. I think we're into like the 7th sequel of it, and even 3 prequels in there, played by Vin Diesel. But I mean, that's Tvik going down. Like, they're going to lose on 2 people, and Laserkin's still going to be aggressive. So with these health packs being hacked here, they want to go for a very aggressive defense. I'm not sure, like, the thing is, the downside of this is much higher than the upside. If you just lose out a couple of people, you're saying goodbye to the point.
But what if you have no faith in your first point defense to begin with, and you just feel like this will give you more of a room? I mean, that is the case. Teams are not great at defending first point Hanamura a lot of the time nowadays. So this may be the lesser of the 2 evils for LK.
4 people on the point.
Oh my goodness.
They just rush straight past. They get at least the first tick out of it.
They got a tick, but there's still time being bought here by LK. I don't hate what LK is doing, although I do hate the fall through there. They were disheveled and going back to the point. They wanted to stop that, and they gave up 2 kills there as Manitin goes to town with those fusion cannons on D.Va.
Well, eventually he will die, though. Those Bunny Bosters are not going to stop Kid from slaughtering him. Kind of like Bambi, actually, except it's a rabbit. But,
too soon.
But Laserkins, they lost a 3rd, and they have to give that forward position. So now they have to like rehack everything out of Gray. Luckily, he didn't die for his team, because if he did, they'd be in a really bad position, not be able to use this to their advantage, and not to mention the EMP, which they're going to need. And Misfits, because of the time it took Laserkins to rejoin on the point, are actually down men. They've down positioning, and it's allowed Misfits to get on the point.
Misfits, they're getting on the point, but they're also bleeding out. Munchkin getting to the back line. Both supports for Misfits are down, and they don't have sustain here anymore, Jason. So even though they were close to a 2nd tick, that's simply not going to happen.
Okay, Misfits are really struggling here. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock. Love that sound. Hearing D.Va just scream.
Tell me how you really feel about D.Va here, Jason. What issues do you have to work out?
Many, especially when you try to play Soldier against her. And then you die to her all the time. But the thing is that Misfits have so many ultimates to use. The Gray has his EMP ready, and he's playing really aggressively here. Oh man, they might not check this doorway. This EMP is gonna be huge. It cancels out so many people.
Lights out, says Sombra, as Munchkin is there for the follow-through. That's one way you go to the team. You know what? You can have all the ultimates up in the world, but good luck actually using them when your abilities are locked out.
Are they trying to push out? Okay, are they going to push out again for the aggressive defense?
I think so. I think they know that at this point they have to know what Misfits has in reserve, so they keep hitting Misfits at times Misfits isn't expecting it, and Misfits are down to a minute 20, Jason.
Considering this is a game mode that Misfits pride themselves on, they're looking very scared here. You can see, Nevix, he's not feeling confident to push up by himself. People be waiting for his entire team so they can regroup and push up together. Tvik can be going off by himself because he does have the ability to recall away. And they might just run past them here. They're just going to ignore the entire defense, trying to get on this point. The self-shock being thrown in directly on Nevix. Gets caught out here. Tvik's not able to really do too much up against his Samba. Graves is able to heal away, and Mazazo and Krebs able to pick up big kills.
Misfits goes up the gut and gets fireworks in their face as a result. I honestly, at this point, I think Laser Kittenz is in Misfits' head at this point. That was not really clean Overwatch to just dive in. I mean, why not take the chance, but they got blown up.
I don't know if the fireworks were in their face. It's kind of more of like an episode of Jackass there. Fireworks being shot from behind them. But you look at this Munchkin, he's got the pulse bomb. Like he's behind them. And I think we just saw Shuriken go off direct in his direction, so maybe they're expecting him to be there. But the AP again? It's coming up. Nevix has his blade, but he doesn't have the opportunity to use it. And just like that, they pick up 3 kills. Misfits, you have 15 seconds, and you've only got a third of the point taken.
Death and devastation abound. Laser Kittenz reading Misfits like their favorite book. Oh my goodness. This has been a completely outplayed moment from Laser Kittenz where they read the book of Misfits, they knew it was coming, and they just caught them off guard over and over again. And what has been one of the more thrilling, I think, first point holds we've ever seen on Hanamura.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think it kind of shows there's still some potential for new and innovative strategies to come to light that people haven't been using just yet, but still, Misfits, that was, I would imagine that's something they haven't been up against normally. Because typically, if you see a strategy like that, you know how to fix it, right? You know how to counter it. But I feel like Laser Kittenz really caught them off guard there.
There's no doubt about it, where, I mean, they were coming in from different engage angles every time. Sometimes they held back, sometimes they were up front. They kept varying the looks they were throwing at Misfits, and then the times Misfits could have had a good engage, well, there's Sombra, there's the EMP, and you can't use anything. It was just any part of that you wanted to look at. Laser Kittenz was firing on all cylinders. And as a reward here, Jason, they have what is one of the easier tasks in front of them, only getting 55% on first Hanamura to take the map.
I'm struggling to see how Misfits is going to hold 54.2%. Most teams can't even, or most teams don't ever look at that first point like, yeah, okay, we're going to full hold this, then we'll, get the attack in and win, right? You always, in your mind, always default the second point hold. 54% is not a lot. All it takes is just one good combo. It just takes that one mistake out of Misfits, one mispositioning, and you win the map.
I agree, and let me just, on that note here, do you think this is a case where, again, if Misfits isn't comfortable playing just that insane engage strategy we saw from Laser Kittenz, do you think it would be a better idea for them here to come out with, say, a Mercy or a Symmetra, something that can erase some mistakes?
No, I don't think Symmetra, like, we never see Symmetra anymore, especially with dive comps. And I think playing the Sombra aggressively is something they have not practiced. I want to feel like. I don't know how strong Mineral is in aiming, but I mean, it would be Zebaside to have to flex over to that role. I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned, but most importantly, thinking ahead to next week, right? So if Laser Kittenz pick up this map, they won the series. Yeah. That forces Misfits to then win 3-1 or 4-0 to tie things up, and then you have to look at map scores for the second tiebreaker. So this is really important for Laser Kittenz if they can pull this off.
Indeed, and by the way, one thing, oh my God, Tavik just got thrown into the trash. I mean, luckily the rest of Misfits had a very good counter dive, but that was just crazy tracking from Krems.
Kib, that was a big kill on Zebaside, actually. If he can escape this somehow, if he can get away with his life, that's going to be so bad because they're losing out a big healer.
Kib from Sushi Chef to Houdini, the near impossible escape coming out. And Laser Kittenz, they're not sated here, Jason. They're going to be coming right back in. This has been just a little bit kooky, even for a first point attack.
How many jobs is Kib going to have? He's been an assassin, he's been an escapist, and he's not stopping just yet. Tavik's finally able to respond with the kill into Grace. They've lost Zenyatta, and Reinforce is able to do some really good damage with the rest of the team there, but that was scary for Misfits. They lost out on too many people off the bat, but individual play able to shine through, as well as communication to keep each other alive. But still the time's there. Laser Kittenz, they still have 3 minutes left to go here. They're still building up ultimates anyways. This isn't that big of a loss for them.
One thing I'll note is I think Krems built Tavik's revenge meter there, where he just came in and says, yeah, actually, I'm not having this be the reason why we lose the map. Comes back in and just crushes on the revamp. So good on Tavik there.
Why are you here, Zebaside?
That is not something you put into a montage, let me tell you there, as suddenly Laser Kittenz with an opportunity. The Ana is down, but Misfits, even when one player makes a mistake here, Jason, the rest are covering for it very well.
Okay, Zebaside had to have been expecting the entirety of Laser Kittenz to rush through that doorway, hit with a bio grenade, then everyone floods the point. That had to have been the ideal strategy. But even then, why go for something so risky? You lose your Ana, you can almost lose the point.
If you lose the Ana for free, you absolutely do lose the point. The only upside there is that Misfits had a better counter engage, but now the storm is brewing. Kib might be waving that storm in his favor. The blade is out, and now the blade is strong. Moving to the back, and he is crushed by the sound barrier into Nevix there to support. So the blade gets very little, and yet Laser Kittenz still moving on to the point, but I gotta say, Jason, this has been a gutsy defense coming out from Misfits so far.
Yeah, but Misfits, they lost on Tvik, they lost on a major damage dealer, and Laser Kittenz still have a lot of ultimates to follow up with. That's gonna be the pulse one coming through, not to mention the task advisor forces back. Krebs is gonna push directly into him, he takes down Nevix, just out-positioning him here, now reinforcing one of the few remaining people on the point. He's been discord up, he's been forced to jump back. Manson's all by himself here, and he's gonna have to give up some percent.
Well, here's the thing, attrition is taking its toll. Misfits has to run a lot further to get back on the point. Laser Kittenz using distance to their advantage. The Vic one allows people to in, goes down here, Transcendence is out, and this progress will be moving to its final completion. Laser Kittenz coming in, a phenomenal defense and a good enough offense to take this away from this.
That was perfectly well said. A phenomenal defense and an average offense.
But I don't even know if it was average. I mean, they were like against the ropes there. Credit to where credit is due the Misfits, but the impressive part there from Laser Kittenz was the defense.
Yeah, no, and I mean, watching this one. Oh, there we go. Actually, we have to watch this play.
Yeah, that's actually towards the end too.
Yeah, and I mean, there were more than one of those types of plays, but this is one reason why I love Hanamura. I mean, you see all sorts of interesting defenses. I mean, in recent history, we've seen definitely some Sombra. This isn't even the first time a similar strategy has been adopted on this first point, taking those mega packs early on. This is the first time it's been successful, that I've seen anyway. But I mean, we've seen Torbjorns, we've seen 4 DPS, 2 supports, and so you can always pull out some new stuff here.
I mean, the key to me is that it's not even what particular heroes they're running. I mean, the combination they ran was very successful, and the Sombra was no small part of that. But for me, it was the different looks they kept throwing at them as they came in, where Misfits